Cool. So today I'm going to be working on the MOBA a little bit, probably the next 3 hours or so. Um, Plan is to try to get these two things today done. We were pretty close to finishing this third one here, the change controls. If I remember correctly, what was the issue? We were having some issue. We'll figure it out shortly here. And then the work on the map, which will be interesting. We'll probably use some of these 3D models we've created, but we'll create, the turrets, the nexus, the minions, and that's going to be pretty interesting. So let me go ahead and move this here and see where we left off. So let me look at the GitHub desktop real quick. Right. Right, we were doing the auto. That was the last step to getting our controls the way we would like, is when you right click here, it should start auto firing. Cool. So let's see, how do we want to do this? Last time we ran into a problem of circular dependency, like it was bringing in the NPC ship, and they were both relying on game state. I think it makes sense to, let me use the planning doc, I think, for this one. So we gonna put in our changes here. I got my Discover Weekly today, so kind of jamming out. So we're gonna need the game state. Yeah, I was pretty stoked today. I saw in the Discord, one of the people on the stream actually started the project and was trying to work on it, which is pretty cool. Actually, speaking of that, once we run this, let's make the README a little bit more usable for any people who want to try to work on this. So let me think here. Game state, MB ship, and ship controller. All right, I think that's good. Oh, hey, Arian, how's it going? Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Better cursor windsurf. So my strategy, just to, it's mostly for cost. Honestly, I don't really notice like much of a performance difference between the two. I think I slightly prefer the windsurf UI, but overall they're like super similar. But I have been thinking about maybe switching over to Climb, um, and giving that a full go and see maybe that one, because I've heard good things and I've really haven't tried it that much. So plus there's the added benefit of, there's quite a few plugins that work in Visual Studio Code, but not Windsurf and Cursor, even though they are forks of VS Code. Some plugins just don't, or extensions just don't work. So if you're relying on some stuff, it might be a better workflow to if Klein is good. Okay, let me read this. So modify ship controller, modifier logic. Oh, you're using RuCode. Nice. For changes in projects and Copilot for editing and everything else. Interesting. Interesting. Copilot, do you find that to be good now? For some reason, I was thinking like, oh, granted, the new 4.0 model, maybe they're using that. I have to try that. Let me give that, write that down because I'm gonna forget. Because I remember I wrote it down a long time ago to try RuCode, and then I just never did. I remember a long time ago I tried Copilot. It was pretty good, but I imagine it's much better now. Let me look that up. Actually, I'm curious. What model is Copilot using these days? Do we know? Okay, yeah, it's they probably switched to 4.0 or something. And 4.0 is really good. Um, I think it's still the top. Let's check actually. So fun fact, I actually I sold these guys this domain, this chat arena. I think that's just so random. Okay, so oh really, Llama 4 is now the top. Wait, can I use this? This might be a good time to just experiment a little bit. What's your work? Just curious. Copilot lets you choose between cloud. Oh, nice, nice. Okay, that's good. That's good. They do the customization there. I used to work as a software engineer. Now I'm sort of just chilling, working on my stuff. It's always been something I wanted to do. It's just kind of work on my own projects, and so I never really thought I would stream and stuff, but actually it's it's a lot of fun. So wait, do I have the uh, Instagram or Facebook? Those are my choices to log in. What? Really? So in order to use Meta AI, I have to use Instagram or Facebook. Oh, that's just for the conversations. Oh, nope. Oh, okay. Okay, we're good. All right, how do I change the? I'll just hold on. Is this it? It's 326. Let me look it up on Twitter. It sucked for your tests. Interesting. If you don't mind me asking, how do you what are you doing for your tests? Because I'd love to have more of a formulaic approach to like testing it myself. Right now, I just look at this and then I just like just query for a little bit, and then I usually plug into windsurf and or cursor and see how it does. But honestly, like this is one of the few sites like that actually does have a ranking system. I I feel like it'd be nice to have like a lot of different sites that are doing this, and then you kind of just like check maybe 3 or 4. But like, let me. Also, this streaming stuff is so cool because like people like you join and will just like show me some cool stuff. Be like, hey, try this. All right. Yeah, that's tariff stuff. Crazy. All right, so let's plug this in. Wow, really not a lot of tweets about it. I mean, this, I don't know. I'm honestly rooting for open source, so I'd really love if Llama's the best. Like long term. So I guess I can't. It's probably not available with API yet. Granted, this is April 5th, and the model says 326. Not really sure. It is April 5th. I wonder why in Chatbot Arena it says 326. Strange. You mean leave these tests, try to one shot? Yeah, that's good. That's for an insanely cool. Nice. Yeah, that's a good process there. Scored 16%. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Let me I haven't heard of this ITER coding leaderboard. That's kind of what I'm looking for is like multiple places to cross check Chatbot Arena. I think it would be a great thing to have like 4 or 5 of these sites. Let me make this a little bigger so I can read it. So you're saying it 16%. Interesting. Imagine that's somewhere else here. Don't really know. But oh, I see. This is where you're seeing this. Interesting. Yeah, I'll read more about this later, but this looks promising. And this kind of lines up with my experience too. Cloud Sonnet thinking, usually very good. Gemini, I've noticed like extremely good sometimes. It's like more variable, I feel like. Sometimes it's like just total garbage. Thinking is like more consistent, I feel like. But it's probably, I don't know, maybe this is more expensive. Man, look how more expensive it is than DeepSeek. Cool. Yeah, this is great. I like how they have the cost too. So I'm gonna use this site for sure. Cool. I think before I try to implement this, I need to understand the circular dependency problem with oh, this might be the way to do this. All right. Okay, definitely not actually. Okay, so let me just try to implement it one more time. Man, you know the project's getting big when it can't index anymore. So this project actually has 110,000 lines, which is actually a little insane. It feels like the functionality, uh, well, I feel like there's just a lot of empty stuff in here that like we either removed. All right, so what we're just gonna test is like, this should result in circular dependency. If we fix it in this, between these two files, then we should be able to smoothly implement the feature. So let's try to understand this. So basically, NPC ship is importing game state, right? And we're also importing game state here. And I guess me importing another file that's importing... I don't think that's the issue though. Let me ask. This is probably the most annoying error to run into, I feel like, because it's so random. Sometimes it's fine. So we have a... I mean, generally, like, I feel like if you run into circular dependencies, it's generally like just a bad pattern. But since we've already, made these things, it's kind of hard to undo it. Yeah, one thing about this is it seems like it's a little brittle if you do this dynamic import thing. I'm going to learn a little more about it though. I should maybe make like I don't know, like a summary video or something that's like, what are, because this particular error is frustrating if you haven't seen it before, because the error itself is like, it doesn't give you much context as to like what the actual problem is. So it takes a little bit. Okay, let's try this. And then if I call it in the update, if it works, then we should be able to move on to the auto fire and probably do it the same way, I guess. I'll just put in the initialize. Oh, here it is. Okay, cool, that works. So that's probably how we'll do this. It's kind of a workaround. I guess that's one thing to fix. Small thing, but if you're chatting. I forgot to say whether we're in attack mode, which should be, but I figured it out, which is nice. Kind of, it's smart, you know. So this is kind of a fun mechanic in League, like you do the strafing stuff. So, wait, yeah. So right now I have to understand. So in League, it's like I think it's because the movement speed's much slower. Also, when I'm clicking, it's doing a very huge rotation to get to where I want to be. Should be like much faster. And then I think we can do the strafing. Basically, the strafing's like very quickly left, right click as you're going back. So you like move, fire, move, fire. Because as you're in auto attack mode, you're not gonna move if there's an enemy. Also, I guess if, you know, so people know what I'm doing, because I think I didn't. Oh, I say it here, but I'm building a MOBA. So this game's gonna be like League or Dota. But it's going to be browser based, so like people can very easily drop into a game. My inspiration is like online chess or something, where I can just easily play. I can just go to the site, in like 2 seconds, I'm playing. All right, let's see if this works. Cool. So I think we're going to run into our circular dependency, and then we have to do our um, lazy loading thing. And if this doesn't work, there's another thing we can do. Okay, actually worked. Let's make sure it's being called and everything. Okay, knit, ship modifier, cool. Nice. Let's see if it's calling the update. If it is, then let's try it out. Okay, I don't think it's calling this, right? Let me make sure. Oh no, we're calling right here. Cool. Let's try it. Oh, it actually kind of worked. It's clearly firing the cannons. I'm gonna zoom in there. It's basically just no cooldown, and then cool. It's a good start. I'm gonna switch to maybe later. I think we'll use the NPC cannon as a reference. Oh, this is a good song. Let's try it. Okay, let me, so the way it should work is like, I click, now it should be firing. Okay, I see that it is firing. I think it just stopped though, right? uh, Even though we're duplicating logic between these two files, I think it's okay because these are probably going to be different in the future and they're going to be different for each character that you choose. So we're going to have many auto fires probably. Granted, we should make like a file that's kind of the basic logic for the auto fires so we don't keep implementing the same, but it's okay. I think after we get the auto fire, we'll fix the movement a little bit. We need to make the rotation very quick. I'm gonna double check what I'm doing here. Make sure that the implementation of an aiming system, interesting. Ah. Okay, we are using that. Good, good, good. It's good we made that file. It's super useful. Oh, nice. Heck yeah. Nice. Pretty close, pretty close. Cool. All right, just one more thing. All right, now I'm gonna switch to cursor because I'm out of my virtual box. Hey, thanks, Ramsey. Don't know if you saw the last thing, but we're making it into a MOBA game. So I'm changing the controls, and you're gonna have I don't know if you've played, but like League or Dota, but that's what we're doing. It's gonna be like kind of like online chess. I'm thinking like you can very quickly drop into a game because it's gonna be a browser-based game. The problem with League is you gotta like spend a long time downloading. So that's the idea. I don't know if you already saw that, but just so you know what we're doing. But thanks, I appreciate it. Auto attack, cannon. I think it makes sense. So we got the auto fire done. So basically, it's firing. If you look, my ship is firing. It's just firing out of the wrong place on the left side. Cool. Before I make any more changes, I'm going to commit because I like our progress with this. Also, another thing about windsurf, I noticed they have some logic for not printing a bunch of stuff that is already in the file but didn't modify. And that's kind of nice because it's probably wasting a bit of money. Okay, so it's bugged out here. Oh yeah, so I'm actually gonna make a video too on that. I think that's probably it seems like people are interested in that. Like, how much am I spending with all this querying? Because so I need to check again, but um, I think I've probably spent about $100, $110, something like that. So obviously that's not trivial. Um, but I'll look and break it down a little bit more. Maybe that right now I'm using a really expensive model, Cloud Thinking, but the DeepSeek models are really good too, and these are going to be like a third of the price. So I'm optimistic that pretty soon it'll be much cheaper. It's just the DeepSeek models just aren't quite as good yet as the thinking, but it's honestly pretty close. So you can get away with just using that probably and make plenty progress. So oh, but I guess your question was actually, sorry, I kind of misread it. You said the number of requests that I've sent. I guess I don't know that, but if I had to guess, I think it would be probably 1,000, because I got 500 plus like 300 on windsurf plus a ton on Cursor. So I'd guess like 1,600 maybe requests to um, Cloud. Oh, actually, we can do the little math here. Oh yeah, this is we can actually verify stuff that we see on other sites. Let's just do it real quick because that's interesting. As for the cost, okay, so let's say I spent about 1,600. I mean, I've done 1,600 requests divided by the roughly what I spent probably. Um, oh, sorry, other way. Math, sorry. Okay, so that's 7 cents a query, right? Yeah. So let's check what Chatbot Arena says. I mean, this one. So this is saying it's $36. I wish it said maybe per query, although that's right. The query, it depends how much context you're sending for the cost. Okay, I guess we can ask. Let's see. So Cloud thinking 3.7 cost per token. $3 per million input tokens. Interesting. That's cool. Yeah, I'll maybe make a video going through like that because that's kind of interesting data. Let's see here. Seems like it's a very simple change. We'll see. Nice. Okay, if I'm understanding correctly, I think it's just doing the opposite side that it should be doing. And then after we'll fix the movement. If we just make the rotation really fast, it'll look pretty good, I think. So basically in this game, if you haven't played a MOBA, the auto attacks will do kind of like very minimal damage, but then these ones will be like really like huge effects that will destroy these other ships really easily. Another thing we have to modify, your auto attack should basically always hit, so. Actually, they should always hit. Cool, that looks right. Let's see if it's on the other side. Nice. Cool. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Yeah, so they're just doing the nearest target for the who to fire at, which is pretty good. Yep, so now I'm just making it so there's no randomness. Your auto fire will always hit them. And then after that, we fix the movement. Then we can cross off this part of the list and move on to the map, which I'm pretty stoked. It's gonna be a lot of fun designing that. So just for reference, I spent 1,500 hours of League. There was this site back in the day that like you just plugged in your League account, told you that. I was like, oh my god. I played in high school just like every day. Very cool. So it's definitely overshooting them for some reason. I'm gonna commit for a, because this is a dangerous operation. Well, it's a really simple change. I thought this would be like a huge change. We have this really awesome file that I created a long time ago, and it's just been reusing it all the time. This like aiming system file, which is really, it's very consistent. So all the Canon stuff has been really smooth for all the NPCs and stuff. So kind of surprising. Pretty close, pretty close. It's maybe a little, we'll just say, I'm going to clarify what I said there. And then the damage for the ships will be really easy because we like have a file that we can just apply to the NPC ships because we already got the damage implemented for this ability. I think this could work as long as we just remove the cannonball when it, and that's actually a longer term change we need to do, which is really simple. It's just like if the cannon is vertically roughly hitting, like if it's hitting the sail, you should still take the damage, not not just the boat part. But yeah, it looks pretty good actually. I like it. Also, one thing I like is now that we're switching to this more top-down view, it doesn't need to look perfect so much, like with the you know, League itself, when you zoom in, at least it used to be, didn't look like super great when you zoomed in, but from this view, it looked pretty good. So that's a kind of a nice plus. All right, so now let's do the damage. Should be really easy. Also, if anyone wants to work on the project, it's open source, so all the code is available. You can just open the project, and I'm making a file here that's just going to say exactly what you need to do if you want to mess around with it. So there's 2 commands that you run down here, and then you can run it, and you'll have it in your browser. So if you're new to programming or something, you can mess around with it. Could be a good way to learn some basics. I don't know if the people here, they might already be programmers, not really sure. Cool, that looks pretty good. That might work. Nice. Heck yeah. Is that cool or what? All right, cool. Now the last thing is the movement, and then we can cross the thing off the list, which is always fun. I notice as I have been going through this project, I'm coding less and less. I think as long as you get the right sort of pattern for the files and how they interact with each other, you might not have to touch the code as much. Every once in a while, maybe, but okay, so the movement. I guess it's just going to be in this file still, I think. So I'm actually pretty stoked. We implemented the auto aim. I thought it would take a few hours, but it's just been only an hour, which is nice. Then the next 2 or 3 will be the map, so we'll see how much progress we can make. All right, so right now, the movement of the ship. Also, one thing I want this game to, you can run it on any device. Like, so we're gonna add a lot of settings here that you can really minimize the graphics, like to your heart's content. You can do whatever to make sure it runs smooth. Also, I saw a cool thing on Twitter today from the founder of or the person working on the library for this, for the objects 3GS, and he's working on this cool optimization. It's called like instance mesh or something. So we'll apply that too, if it's good. Yeah, let's see. All right, so it definitely messed up stuff, which happens sometimes. Let's try to figure out which thing in particular. Okay, but it did fix the problem, right? Now it's pretty responsive. It's maybe a little too fast, but also the jankiness of it. Just curious, I'm gonna check if it was actually this change here that was the thing that fixed it, because it's good to know. Because we have two different places for these values, so it's a little confusing. Which one is the right one? Okay, so it is this one. So that means that we can maybe discard the changes that were made here. I'm gonna test. So stash it. It's a command, and then we'll set this to 0.6 and see if it looks good. Okay, interesting. So we know that. Oh, I didn't save the file. That could be why. Okay, it's not. Interesting. What? Oh, strange. Okay. And the reason why it could be janky is maybe this change. Oh, they added this turn intensity thing. It's not used, so we can just move it. Maybe undo their change that they did with the speed factor. See what that looks like, just out of curiosity. All right, I think I'm gonna reduce the speed first of all, but also let's ask it about. So it's got to be this right here, I think. Somehow this multiplier is the thing that is doing this weird effect. Oh yeah, let's see. I mean, it's a little better, I noticed. So maybe it's this variable they added, this turn smoothing factor. If we crank that up. Can't tell, is it a little better? Maybe. Let's crank it up. What? That's funny. It definitely feels responsive now, which is good, but it's actually pretty cool. It just needs to fix the little bit of. Yeah, it feels way better though to actually play it because it's very responsive. Because it's kind of fun because you can like dodge the cannons too. Cool. I just realized when I was looking at the computer, my face is just like on the stream, like super big. Alright, it's pretty good. Just needs to somehow be... For some reason I keep typing responsible instead of responsive. So this will be maybe like a little tutorial area. Oh yeah, that could work. Let's try it. Oh nice, that fixed it. Heck yeah, dude. Oh, that looks way better. This is really nice. This is actually pretty cool. This is pretty fun, actually. All right. This is kind of in League how you do it, like you're left clicking really rapidly for the movement. But you could also just right click, I guess. Honestly, yeah, let's just have it this way. Like you can right click too, if you want. I'm kind of used to doing it this way, but because in League you would stop every time you do the attack click. But honestly, it's a bit easier for newer players to just you move and attack. Cool. I think we can cross out this part. So I'm gonna just do that. So now the map itself. So you should spawn kind of in the corner of the map. So we can create a little spawning area here for what that should look like. We're going to create a lot of models actually. But I think what we should do is design it in Blender, right? So you bring in all the models into Blender, and then you just load in one model for the game. That makes sense. Let's start with the generations. I mean, there's one small bug. For some reason, if I'm moving really quickly, it'll fire like way. Cool. I'm pretty stoked. And we can implement collisions pretty easily too, because we have our files for that. So that'd be like when you run into them, you'll maybe bounce back or something. I think we already saved this. So my process for this is going to be generate some concepts, and then we'll convert the concepts into 3D if it looks like it can be converted to 3D. Sometimes if it's depending on the model. Okay, now that's we need to be a little more intelligent than that. So League of Legends spawn. Let's just grab an image of that. We're not going to copy it, but we're going to take inspiration for the general layout, I would say. And we'll obviously change like the art style, the setting, and stuff like that. And what it looks like as well. But just like the general idea. But let's get an image without the character player. For some of these boats, I've had good luck with anime art styles. Like for example, on Twitter, there was a lot of people using this like Studio Ghibli stuff. I just like to say anime, and it usually gets pretty good results. So, all right, so it should be anime looking. with strong outlines. So whenever we generate a model like this, we don't want any of the water because we already have water. I probably won't end up using whatever it gives me here, but just to get a rough idea that we can iterate on. I guess let's make a bunch of these because we're going to have a lot of models that we're going to bring into Blender and combine into a map. I actually have a reason to use Blender, which is good. So what are the other things? We want to create kind of like a nexus looking thing. But I want to be creative because I don't really just want to copy everything. I think I want to have the same layout roughly of the map like most MOBAs, but let's come up with a cool idea for what a nexus should look like. I'm just going to use this as a reference image in my chat. Leviathan's heart. Okay, cool. Okay. This is how we're going to do it. This is going to be fun. There's so many cool ideas for what this could look like. I just know this is going to be a pretty cool looking model. This is my, so far I like. Cool. There should be like a bit of a lore for what this is. I need to get my girlfriend to ideate with me here because she's really creative. But I'll write you something to start here. Okay, this is interesting. This is obviously we removed the pirate boat, but it's a little too cartoony, I would say, but close. Oh, I might make a video on this as well. The issue with a lot of these is like it's not really clear why that would be your base. I think the one thing I like about the heart is it's like really clear. Okay, this is what we're protecting for some reason. Like it's a heart. It's pretty universal. That's helpful, right? All right, let's try generating this image. It's my favorite so far, I think. All right, and we have what we could do is make one team. The pirates one team is the colonials. You have different things on each side. Or ooh, that looks cool. Not bad. Oh yeah, that looks pretty good. Oh, so close. I think this could work. You just have to remove everything, like remove this, and remove the water. Oh, nice. It did it. Perfect. That actually might work pretty well. Cool. I'm not really sure with that style if it'll pan out with the 3D model, but overall not bad. Okay, cool. So now let's try to put this in trellis. Wait, is this by Microsoft? I had no idea. Oh, oh wow. Okay. The only problem with trellis is it's very expensive. Like, I'm almost out of credits already. this, this is a dog. The, this one. Let's see here. Like, okay, cool. I found it. Okay, we'll try the other one as well. Not really sure if it knows about the blue part, but we'll see, like whether to remove it or not. Okay, this did not turn out super well. Let me try the advanced model. Not bad. The only thing is the trees need to be actual trees, but we could actually remove this in Blender. Eh, it's not super great though. We'll see how the other one turns out. Nice see how expensive this is. Wait, you're telling me I already used 3,000 credits? There's no way. That would be that would be 100. Generate. I've only generated maybe 10. Oh, oh, I see. It's a little deceiving. That's total over the year. Yeah, this is really expensive. So basically, if you want to use the Pro model, which is the thing that really works, you would need to each model generation is $1. Hmm. 40 credits. Wow. So basically, if you use this, you gotta like really, you know, make sure that the image you're plugging in is gonna do well with their models. Otherwise, you waste a lot of money. It's interesting. I'm gonna try using Tripo 3D. Yeah, I mean, if you compare the prices here, it's really interesting. Trippo is way cheaper than Trellis, but I'm not really sure how creative you can get with Trippo. No, you know what we could do instead of this kind of like, we're spending money anyway. We might as well just look at like Unity asset packs and stuff like that to see what we can find. Cool. Yeah, this might be the way to do it. I mean, think about how much time it take to like generate all of these things. I mean, because this is essentially what we need. We need a bunch of modularized pieces that we can put together to make a map. Kind of cool. Let's see what else we got. Let's just look up a pirate game. Oh, is there one here? Yeah, these might be nice to have. Oh, that looks nice. I need to check though that these actually would come in the file type that we're using. Like, is it a GLP or? And also, this wouldn't have everything that we need. No, it's FBX source files. Oh, hey guys, I didn't see chat. Hello. Thanks for trying it out today. It feels strange calling you old gamer. It sounds like a strange insult or something. But yeah, thanks for trying it out. That's cool. I'll modify the README so I guess it has instructions and stuff. Did you manage to fix it? Yeah, I do like the assets here. I just need to make sure that I can load them in a similar way to what we've been doing. We can use these assets to craft a little spawning area. Seth. Okay, cool. I'll call you Seth. That's yeah. If you don't mind. My name is Dylan. So, I like these plants. Kind of cool. But there is one thing, like this is an open source game, so if I download this asset pack, yeah, I definitely can't push it, which is kind of like a little lame. Maybe we could find a free one. Let's look at Unreal. Oh, okay, great. Not able to change ships. Yeah, we did some, like I commented out the stuff for the different um, models there. So there might be like a few changes to make. Not really sure what exactly I changed, but I'm assuming you mean like there's like these like colonial ships and stuff like that. I definitely commented out some stuff because it was kind of buggy. Let me go to the official store because this is kind of inefficient. Unreal Asset Pack store. Pirates. Cool. Wow. I'm just gonna look at this one. I don't think I'll. That's pretty cool. That's wow. I wonder how much stuff it has. Oh, this is just an island. Oh, you tried changing the default ship GLB file yet? Did you download all the Quixel stuff when it was free? I don't even know what that is. Quixel. Quixel. Whoa. Is this an AI thing? Or wait, this brought me to the same site as Unreal Store. Yeah, I have no idea why. Because I don't really know much about this. So both these places go to the same thing. So what exactly is this? I guess I can ask AI because it's a learning thing. Oh, I see the rope query. Okay, interesting. And you just said it was free. So does that mean did you happen to snag a few? Actually, I probably can't use them unless I pay for them. It's kind of an important rule. The way I see it is like we're gonna have to pay anyways to do the 3D models because we're gonna have to generate a lot of them for this map. So we might as well save the time and maybe if we can find a good place here. Because as I learn how to make it. Wait, seriously? You snagged them all? That's crazy. Wait. So in the ones that you snagged, you have some pirate stuff? Probably, right? If you have that's awesome. Nice. That's so cool. All right. Oh, so they're still free, but only for use within Unreal Engine projects. You paid Quixel license. Okay, cool. Oh, I see. So this was generalized, you're saying, like this was used for a lot of platforms or something, not just Unreal. Hmm. I'll make this bigger so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, gotcha. Well, good call downloading it. Cool. So it sounds like I'll need to apply, if I go this route, I'll need to apply the textures myself, which I see, import the, that's a good question. Because right now, can I use object with 3JS? Oh, okay, okay, cool. Okay, but the object files do not contain textures. So you have to load in the object file. Yeah, so we probably should use the GLB mainly because if you try to do that programmatically, I think, to apply the textures, that's going to be pretty challenging. Unless it's just one texture, like if it's just like you have a model and then they have one. So do these files come with one object file, then one texture map or to apply, or is it many textures? Okay, so they come with many texture maps, but one MTL file maybe? Okay, that might work then. Okay, cool. So they have one object file, one this MTL file. You apply, and I think that will work. So I'm gonna ask, can I use anything out of Quixel commercially? Or let's see, distribution game. If I'm not in Unity. Tripo SG into Tidefall, possibly add a ship builder. Oh, that would be really cool. Tripo SG, is that related to? Oh, okay, that's Tripo 3D. Or no, this is a different site, Tripo SG. I assume it's related, right? All right, I bet you Tripo 3D uses on this open source. Okay, cool. I think Tripo 3D has an API too. Um, but it would be cool if maybe. Yeah, yeah. So we could use the API for with Tripo 3D. That would be really cool. Like on the fly, do some maybe like loading in some models, and the user. It's kind of like a playground for the user. I've been seeing some people on Twitter do stuff like that, where they're creating these playgrounds. You can prompt, create stuff. Reminds me of Gary's mod. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, today I was playing around with Trellis and Tripo 3D. Trellis is really expensive. Like I did, it's $1 per query for the good model. That's actually pretty good. So like, if you're doing a lot of experimentation, say you need 100, 200 models, it's gonna add up pretty quick. and you're not going to get it right every time. So like, it could take like 3 to get the right one that you're trying to do, or that you'll use. Okay. All right, so I probably can't use the Quixel thing. I'll just play by the rules here. Well, the other thing about that is, even though it's open source, you need to have it running somewhere, right? As a service, like I guess you might need to spin up some, because isn't it an AI model, like kind of like llama or something? I assume. So let me ask. Yeah, that'd be really cool. Like, you need some error correction kind of stuff, and then you need to make sure the user's not loading in things that aren't boats. But that's probably possible. The thing I like about Tripo 3D is it's not doing anything usually too crazy. Like it usually makes things that are even with bad prompts. So I bet you could. Oh, Quixel is open. But I was reading here the license thing. I don't know. Maybe this is incorrect though. I feel like sometimes when it comes to legal kind of stuff, like the models tend to be very careful. I guess I'll try another model. Okay, we're using Unreal Engine. Okay, just need a subscription, I guess. Paid tiers allow commercials and non-Unreal projects. I don't know. I'll probably verify this later using not models because they tend to be very careful, I think. So I'll do that later. But I think at the very least, we probably shouldn't publish the Quixel assets on GitHub publicly if they're currently paid. All right, let's see. So let's say we were trying to do this. How would we? Oh, okay, cool. Oh, it used to be that you had a subscription, but you could purchase products and use them commercially. I see. So they kind of changed their business model a little bit. When everything went free, you had to check them out for free. Oh, really? That's really interesting. But you don't think there was maybe some catch, like you had to use Unity or something, or you had to use an engine in order to use the textures, or did they just like just give everything away? Oh, you did. Nice. Cool. Interesting. So, cool. Seems pretty straightforward, actually. Oh, interesting. What if this was like our base? We had like a port city, the thing that you're trying to protect. I guess it could be, doesn't necessarily be pirates. It could be just some ports. Oh, gotcha. That makes sense. If you bought them, you could use them anywhere. Like maybe they had some deal with Unity, maybe? Like they're like, hey, we'll give these assets if you're using this Unity. Oh, this looks pretty good. What if this is like the spawning area? You start here on the map. Or here, maybe? We could always just like... Although I wonder if this is one model. It'd be nice if it comes in many, so we could patch things together how we like. Whoa, it has lots of intricate details. That's cool. Probably don't. Oh, interesting. Oh, these would be nice. I need a lot of rocks. That's a good point. Like if we look at a League of Legends map, right? They're using rocks to shape the map, which we could do something very similar. Or rocks and trees. So instead of maybe in the middle here, they're using a lot of trees. We could make this like kind of like islands. That so for that we can query a more generalized um, rock island, maybe rock islands. Another thing I want to ask is nice. So even if we get a really unoptimized file for browser, we can just open up in Blender and decimate the vertices. Nice. Granted, if we get something with 1 million vertices and get it down to 10,000, I've been going from 200K to 100K, 200K to 50K. View 3D. I have not. Is this another one of these 3D model sites? Oh no, it's a framework, I think, right? Like 3JS or a library. Okay, it's one more question. Oh, okay, okay, okay. So this is kind of like, let's say you don't. I think this is my understanding. Oh, I froze. Let me check my OBS here. Oh, oh, maybe it's my internet. Yeah, this might be a good thing to use, like if when I'm working on my other project, like maybe making a landing page. Instead of using 3GS, I could maybe just make a very simple. I'll write that down. It could be a good thing to remember. So I haven't heard of this before, the View 3D. The entire plot, including Plant Factory. Huh. What is View 3D Plant Factory? So you're saying like it wasn't open source before? Oh, this is, maybe it's not open source. That this is not the project. Hold on. Oh, I see. It's not open source. Oh, okay. Oh, gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Oh, so is it not like a library? Okay, it's a desktop app. Oh, gotcha, gotcha. Images. Okay. Ah, I see. I see why you've recommended it now. I misunderstood firstly what it was. So I think you're recommending as a alternative to Blender because it's more specialized for environments. This is good to know. Oh, okay, you explained it. Yeah. Massive landscapes, atmospheres. Okay, cool. That's I'm gonna explore this then. Cool. Oh, nice. Okay. Well, the name gives it away. Plant factory, mostly vegetation. Interesting. So maybe even if we get a model that's just like a rock, we can use this plant factory to just apply a bunch of vegetation to it. It's cool. Nice. And no license. That's pretty great. All right, I'm gonna keep looking for models here. I think we have some interesting ones. I'm gonna bookmark this one. But I think we want one maybe a little more specialized. Also, I guess can you double check? I bet old gamer you have a lot of rocks and trees. That's probably something we'll be using. So these are small rocks. Okay. Hmm. Let's see. Well, I'm getting a little tired here, so I'm probably gonna end the stream. But thanks for joining, guys. I'll be streaming tomorrow too, probably a little earlier. And then I also give me a little time to think about exactly what I'm doing here. Um, oh, and you can send me a message, so I'm gonna check this out. Create a nice Game Guru Max, no code, easy to draw. That's cool. Let me put that in my notes here. Check out drag and drop game maker. One of the things I really love about the AI stuff is that I actually can still have the code. Um, or what I mean is purely use code. I really enjoy that. For some reason, I just don't. I think it's because I've been coding a while. Like I just like working with it. I don't really like the UIs like this, and so it's just my preference. But I know everyone's different, especially like if you learn Unreal. Like for example, the guy who made this game, I imagine there's a lot of people. Um, uh, Choo Choo Charles. He just made this with the blueprints and Unreal. He didn't code at all. So and this is a really popular game. So like it's not really required, but I just enjoy it. So I'm happy that I can build a game in the way that I like. Uh, but yeah, so I graduated the degree and then I worked for 3 years, 3.5 years, and I always kind of wanted to just work on my own projects. So yeah. By the way, he has some really great videos on a small channel where he kind of like goes through how to make fun games, and it's amazing. This guy is kind of a genius, I think. Like the amounts of data that he first collected, but he did some really interesting analysis not only on the engagement data of YouTube gameplays, but he made a bunch of interesting conclusions about just like human behavior and psychology, and then he applied it to his games to try to get a viral game, and that's how he succeeded wildly. I'll show you the YouTube channel. It's like uh, forgot, 1 second. Let me pull it up in my subscriptions. Oh, anyway, as I was saying, I always wanted to kind of work on my own projects. So that's why I'm kind of doing my own thing. It's just a little hard to find the time. This is the channel for, um, and it only has like, I don't think this is as big as it should be. It should be like huge. For me, the 3 years that I worked, I used Java, so just kind of back end. I was on an auth team and an internal tooling team as well. So, but I wasn't really doing web dev stuff, so some of this was new to me. I did a little bit in college. Yeah, I watched every single video because I was like just amazed. My favorite is probably this what actually is entertainment video, and he also the video where he talks about how actually this is my favorite. He he has this chart. Let me show it to you. Um, Quality's extremely bad. This chart where he like maps out human instincts, and then he explains why games are fun using these human instincts, because he defines entertainment as a shortcut to gratifying human instincts. Critically, that it's a shortcut, like things like mowing grass, you know, they're games like mowing grass sims, but they're not actually fun to, I mean, maybe a little fun to do in real life, but you actually have to expend effort. So critically, it's a shortcut. And then he explains like why Minecraft is the best game of all time because it hits basically every single human instinct. Um, and he explains Among Us, the reason why it's fun, hits these bottom ones. And he explains Civ. Actually, Civ is my example, but Civ, if you look at it, you can technological advancement, exploration, conquest, and it does those three really well. A game I like, Polytopia, same sort of thing. Um, and I couldn't really find an example of like a game, or I couldn't think of one that you can find like the instincts that kind of align with the game. And it makes sense because like we're using games as a way to fulfill something that we don't currently have in our life. Anyway, you can watch the videos. It's that's kind of the TLDR of maybe this video, but it's really good. And then he goes through like the data because he analyzed engagement data for what people actually watch. Okay, I'll say one more thing because it's so interesting. He found that the um, action games, like things like Call of Duty, things like um, what's the one that's like really gory? But anyway, all these kind of action games, they're extremely bad for engagement. Like people click away really quickly. And he concludes that he thinks it's action fatigue. Like if something, there's just a lot of stuff going on. People get the gist and they don't really, the people don't really feel like the player's in danger because they're just like destroying everyone. Whereas when it comes to like chase sequences, jump scares, um, oh, right. Anytime there's a goal in sight, so if you have like a door in front of you, you have a helicopter you're getting to, the engagement gets really high. So he designs his games to have like goals clearly visible, and also the chase sequences he is implementing in his new game. So it's like this cuff bust prison. It's called Cuff Bust. It's like a prison escape game. Anyway, so yeah, I don't want to. Right, right. That's what I've been doing. So let me show you. So um, I've been using Grok to try to make game ideas, right? And it generated a really good game idea, and I was using this chart. Okay, I shouldn't say really good. A good game idea that I think was creative. Um, that for me, coming up with would be a little challenging. Actually, I don't want to bore you with it, but I'll just give you the elevator pitch here. I like the idea because it incorporates the elements that would be high engagement, right? So you have a dog that is being pursued by these like hounds, and you'll always be able to see them behind you with like some sort of camera, or maybe you can like look back, something like this. And then the distance, you have a goal, and then the three instincts. I like it shows speed, self-preservation, evasion. And I was thinking about like that could be a pretty fun game because I saw TikTok. There's this like chasing game that like keeps going viral, and it's like this really simple like he's running away from like a 2D sprite, but because the chase sequence is designed well, it seems to get constantly viral. So I was thinking just kind of come up with a game around it to maybe look better visually and maybe have a little bit of a story. But anyways, okay, cool. Yeah, so um, yeah, so I like this idea. It's a little sad, so maybe make it a little bit less, maybe a little more upbeat. But anyway, I highly recommend um, this channel here, and it's not really like a. I'd say it's like a pretty authentic channel. He's not really like editing it up, and he's just kind of talking. Yeah, simple, repetitive. Same thing with jigsaw puzzles, right? Jigsaw puzzles should not be fun. Like rationally speaking, you are just putting together an image that was broken up. Like that makes no sense. But he says that the reason why things like that are fun, like jigsaw puzzles, um, Candy Crush, what's another one? Maybe like Sudoku. The reason why things like that are fun is because we have this order from chaos instinct. And so anything that's like, everything's jumbled up and you put it together, that's a fun element. And so there's lots of simple games like that. Obviously, it's easier said than done. There's like, you still need to make the game like satisfying, and like the controls need to be nice and stuff like that. But like the general idea, it helps come up with a game. Yeah, and Flappy Birds, I think he talks about that too. I think he said that was like a special example because Flappy Birds is not like it was almost I think he said it almost went viral because it shouldn't have gone viral, something like that. Um, like it was almost like a hey, look at this game, it's so simple, that's why it went viral or something. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that, but I don't personally find Flappy Bird very fun, so I don't really know. But I do think Candy Crush is fun. Like when I swipe, it's like pretty addicting. I got my girlfriend hooked on it, so uh, it's clearly doing something right. Oh, another important part that he touches on is he found that when he was doing his research that nostalgia was a really huge multiplier for engagement for games. So that's why he chose to do this Choo Choo Charles is because it's he was invoking Charles the Choo Choo Train from when he was a kid and trying to revamp that to be something familiar but still different. Um, he thinks it's like a 5x multiplier or something on engagement, which is crazy. He thinks it's one of the largest multipliers, like to get people to play a game if you can invoke something from their childhood. Like, for example, he says he bought Ark, that like dinosaur game, because he liked dinosaurs as a kid. So he thinks a lot of people do similar, kind of subconsciously they do these things, not necessarily consciously. Next time you're on board game, nice, yeah, cool, yeah. I love chess. I also like Hearthstone. So if you're doing a card game too, I would be interested in checking it out. I saw this guy today. He made this soccer game, which I thought was really cool, using this vibe coding stuff. And it was actually pretty fun. I could see like you make a kind of simple FIFA. Like it was pretty hard to. I ended up scoring a goal, but it wasn't easy. But cool. Yeah, it's been nice chatting. I'm probably gonna head out, but I'll be on tomorrow, probably a bit earlier. I probably should set a consistent time so people, if they want to join, they know when to join. Um, but cool. Um, yeah. So this soccer game is just 3GS, I think, because I saw his post earlier. Let me double check though. So it is the Vibe Jam. So it's most likely 3GS because, yeah, okay. So it is a 3GS football sim. Yeah, cool. Yeah, see you later, man.